हरे कृष्ण। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Hare Krishna. Today is a very auspicious festival. Today is Dasara, Vijayadashmi festival. So I wish you a happy Dasara. Because it is Dasara, I should speak on Lord Ram. We'll have something on Lord Ram. Just few points we have to know. There are very interesting things. One thing is like why the stories of Lord Krishna and Ram, even though we hear many times, we are able to hear it again. What is the reason behind it? So I'll reveal the secret little later, but I'll tell some other things which are connected. Now, when it comes to Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speak on a wide, he's addressing a wide range of audience. Therefore, he's consciously avoiding very hidden topics. It is for everyone. And people who are even not interested in Krishna also they read Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna is the first, we can say, is an indirect preacher. He's the we have this Institute of Applied Spiritual Technologies and all such devotees start some institutes like that. But Krishna already did it before 5,000 years back on the battle of Kurukshetra. So Krishna explained what is not interesting. Therefore, Krishna explains because there are some things which people are not interested. People in this world they are not interested in two things. One is they are not they don't need to act so as not to suffer, and they need to renounce activity that when they are tired of acting. So they are not interested what gives them real solution from the suffering and what they need to renounce. People are not interested in all these things. But humans have three abilities. We'll see what are they, and of course, I'll connect it to Ramayana. Some very interesting things I read about Ramayana, how Dharma and this thing. But before that, I'll just give this two, 3 points, which is nice, interesting. We need to know. Like our heart, our consciousness is able to act in this world. It is able to comprehend, able to love. These are the three qualities. Ability to distinguish from the living and dead. We are conscious, we can comprehend, we can love, which a dead matter cannot do. It cannot, it is not conscious. And even if it is acting, some motions are happening in the matter, wind is moving and all, but it is not conscious. Only because living entity has somehow invested this energy, that's why it is happening. There are many missions are going and so many things are happening. Now the difference between dead and living is they know that they exist. Living entity, we know we exist. But more important, next thing is what? First is to know. Second is we have the ability to distinguish life from dead. This is the second thing. So I know I am existing. The table does not know it exists. And third is that second is we can distinguish. Oh, this is life. This distinction. And then the highest ability is to love, because in the spirit is able to transcend itself. That is how we get this opportunity. We can go beyond our own limitations, and this is the most amazing gift Lord has given to us. But most people they don't want it. This ability to love and sacrifice oneself for some very strange paradoxical reasons people don't very much appreciate. When we say love, and people they try to hear about it, most people are first thing is if we say we will preach about love, yoga of love, people if they understand that, when they figure out that we are not talking about any girl boy relationships, then they will feel very disappointed. They say this is not. And what to speak of service and sacrifice, they are least interested. Now, what people are interested, like say, if you go to a person and you say, I'll talk about health, they're very much interested. Like one preacher is there, he stops suddenly, somebody and says, you have a sick liver. And he says, yeah, how you know? Yeah, by looking into your face, into your eyes, I could see it. But everybody has sick liver. That is digestion, everybody has problems. Now, but very interesting. Krishna also speaks of everything else. He speaks very little about the most important thing, although you want to say it very clearly, because people are not interested. Now, the point is what? That there are Upanishads and all, especially Ishopanishads, say that all other paths without love and sacrifice and service is not complete, and in the end, it leads a person to a wrong place. Any path which does not have love and service is not complete, and it will lead to a wrong place, and that is actually what is happening to. In accordance with these three abilities of man in the Vedic culture, there are three main ways in order to depend on person's inclinations or his character, give him the opportunity to develop spiritually, no matter whatever the person is. Each person can choose a path that would elevate his consciousness. Therefore, Vedas, what are the three? One is path of yoga. In a person, through activity, he has this active nature, so he can raise his consciousness and purify his heart by karma. And there is a way of jnana where a person can understand something through renunciation of activity through meditation. And then there is path of bhakti. This is path of love, right? These three, very simple. You mean easy to remember. Karma, yoga, sorry, karma, jnana, and bhakti. Now, in the pure Vedic society, the path exists independently on uh, like if some every person can stand on it, feel good, reach to a certain level. And Vedas say also that when a person follows either of the path, karma, jnana, or anything, and at some time he will develop this love. This path lead him to ultimately this love. Now, this is the main point of this discussion. Please understand what Ishopanis is telling. This is very important to know. So that if a person follows the path of ignorance, Ishopanisha says he comes into darkness. And the path of ignorance is path of karma. If a person follows the path of knowledge, he comes into even greater darkness. So why these things are there? Why it is told? That means you can choose between one. By karma, you go to ignorance. By jnana, you can go to more ignorance. That means, what does it mean? That only if a person identifies one of the path and tries to follow without love, without service, then this path does not lead him to anywhere. The person get confused. So along with karma and jnana, there need to be the path of bhakti. Compulsory the bhakti element is needed. Otherwise it ends into illusion. A person get confused. And there are too many people nowadays who do meditation, yoga. People say yoga is karma to some extent, meditation and jnana. But what is happening is it is not leading people to anywhere because they are not doing bhakti. It is ultimately leading people to death. Now, there are methods of spiritual technologies. Now, this is the first point today. Now, we'll just come to Ramayana before we have less time. So, I'll take the point on Ramayana directly. I wanted to share some things, but here we are have to complete some other things. Now, some points, very interesting thing from Ramayana. This is now there is this Shreshtas. What Ramayana basically is teaching is how a king should perform? What is Shrestha? What is, of course, many things are there in that. What is the mm, Pramana, Shastra? So here, Lord Rama is actually living by example of what sacrifice he made in order to set an example to others. So, in Vedic astrology, Lord Rama represents sun, personification of sun. That means sun is a manifestation or symbol of Rama. And Krishna is what? Moon. Now, if you compare sun and moon, sun is quite simple to understand. Moon is very mysterious. Moon is mysterious in the sense it has spots. Even sun also has spots, but it cannot be seen. But moon spots are very visible. It is foggy. It is either waning or waxing, or it is covered sometimes. And so many things are there. But sun, it always shines. Only two times it will little bit color change when it is rising and setting. But apart from that, sun is always bright. Now, Krishna teaches very deep lessons. There is mysterious lessons of love, which Krishna is teaching, and it is not easy to understand him. Then Lord Ramchandra, like sun, shines in order to induce people to embark on the path of spiritual life, and he gives some kind of clarity in it. Now, very interesting point. Like Lord Ram is easy to understand. It is same inside and outside. He acts very clear from outside inside. There is as there is he's properly following the shastras. Sometimes we follow Krishna. Actually, we forget the principles because Krishna he did not follow many times. Although he gave everything, but for his example, it is little difficult. But it is easy with Lord Ram. Now, because that's the reason Krishna telling Arjuna, Kaunte pratijanahi name bhakta branish. Arjuna, you declare that my devotee never perish. Krishna could have done, but people know we cannot trust Krishna. He will anyway change. Now, spiritual life or our inner life is not a simple thing. There are many difficulties, and Krishna is teaching us these complexities and subtleties. But in order for us to, for our spiritual life or inner life to be successful, our outer life must also be very simple and open. And that is actually Lord Ram. Like when person, he must be well understood that he requires certain sacrifices. If we take the life of Lord Ramchandra, there are he is just following the scriptures. His life is based on scriptures. Uh, like like someone from worldly point of view, he can say, "Arey, he completely spoiled his life by following scriptures. He is completely broken in his life because he followed." What is the reward he got, Lord Ramchandra? Now, we also need to understand. When a person he builds his life in accordance with the instructions of scriptures, firstly is what happens, he gains strength. The light comes from sun, that is from Lord Ramchandra. And in one is one advantage. But the second advantage is this is the most important thing is that we acquire necessary depth in life when we follow the scriptures. This is the main point. Like if you look at the sacrifice of Lord and if you look the horoscope, when you look the horoscope of Lord, it does not look quite good. If you take the horoscope of Lord Chaitanya, we see that he died very young, 48. He took sannyas at the age of 24. That means he didn't have any enjoyment in family life. And in the end part of life, he's almost a madman. So it looks like quite quite difficult. And Lord Ramchandra, if you see, even that is also worse. His life, he first is expelled from his house. He has to stay 13 years in forest. And in the last year of his forest exile, his wife is kidnapped. He has to wear the clothes of a clothes from the bark tree, perform austerities. His hair is matted, and then he has to live ascetic 14 years. So 13 years he lived, 14th year wife is stolen, and they conquer, and he has to be with some monkeys who are not very civilized. And then he has to fight, taking their help, and then after that he comes back. He sent his wife, he has to prove his wife that she's chaste. He sent her to fire, and fire comes out. Then after that, again, she is sent to forest because somebody is making comments. And after that, the children are born. When she gives the children, Lord Ram says, "You can come." She says, "No, I'll go to the earth." And the earth opens, and that's all. You say, "My God, what is this life?" Now, there is nothing good in the life. But in the life, but there is a dedication to dharma. And when the life is dedicated to dharma, this is called sacrifice. Now, if a person makes certain sacrifice, what is the reward he gets? There is inner happiness. This is the main point, right? To understand. When a person tries to look for happiness in external things or tries to buy happiness cheaply, he receives happiness. But it is for the price he pays. Happiness is also cheap and which he receives. But if person is going with dharma, like if he does not go, he receives a surrogate for happiness. He receives something that seems like happiness, but in the end, it leaves no trace in the heart. If you go for cheap things, there is no depth, there is no good trace in the heart. He pursues all this superficial, and as a result, he himself becomes superficial. But when a person follows the higher principles of in life, even from the ordinary point of view, it seems unhappiness, but inside he is experiencing much more happiness that is accessible to ordinary people. And that is the reason when people read Ramayana, why they get pleasure, why they get some sort of happiness, because this is the reason. They can touch the happiness which Lord Ram, which the Lord is experiencing, somebody following Dharma. So it wasn't for this happiness, then the whole story, it will not go for years, decades, and centuries on together. The same story is explained. And if it is superficial, it is not like that. We are not fulfilled. When people listen Brahmana from millenniums, people still listen. And that is the main reason. After thousands of years, people listen and then they are stuck. They are surprised. Their hair stands on end and they feel so much ecstatic. Like this is small thing. Lord, because today's Ramayana, we have to discuss. So I shared few things on. The main thing is if they follow Dharma, of course, many things are there. And I will, Ramanami, we can do something. So this is the important point. For every story, like uh, one point I'll share. Like Lord Ram, he conquered passion. That means he defeated lust. That is Ravana. And also he also conquered passion in the way when he was commented that Lord Ram is keeping Sita, who is staying in another person's house. No, Lord Ram conquered his passion means he conquered his attachment and desire, and then he gave up Sita. He said, "We can go to the forest." And that means Lord Ram defeated lust, Ravana. He defeated passion. What did Sita do? She conquered Ram with her love. That is her greatness. He told Lakshmana, take Sita to the forest. Lord Ram did not go to tell Sita that I am sending you to forest. He did not go her to apologize. He did not go her himself to drop her. Just sent Lakshmana. He told we are going for a ride and he took and drops her. And now Sita, she tells to Lakshmana, you tell Ram that Sita will be completely happy in in the forest. She will not have any problem. And she'll be very happy because she's always thinking of Ram and thinking that he will be free from this blemish, and that will give her happiness. And she will be completely happy here. And she was happy also. Ram was actually unhappy, but Sita was happy because she's always thinking of Ram. She didn't, Ram understood that she will not misunderstand me, and Sita did not misunderstand. She conquered Ram with her love. I know many of you may not have very agree with the behavior of Ram, especially Mataji's have problem. But this is not happening on a, we project our emotions on the incidents and what we are seeing. We project our way of thinking on what is happening there. That's why we don't understand what ecstasy or whatever higher pleasure they are experiencing. For us, it is actually Atmavan Manyate Jagat. I see according to my state of consciousness. But a person who is spiritual, evolved, and grown, his way of looking things is completely different. And they are experiencing happiness at a higher level, which we cannot understand. So that is the answer for the controversy that is going to arise because of this incident. Okay, we'll come to our syllabus. We have just some few minutes, and there are some interesting things. We'll just read the first five translations before we go to the sixth verse onwards. This is also very important points Prabhupada is mentioning. Any questions, comments till what we have discussed? Okay, good. I can happily move on. The king Parikshit inquired from Sukadeva Goswami, how did Narada Muni, whose hearers are as fortunate as those instructed by Lord Brahma, explain the transcendental qualities of Lord, who is without material qualities, and before whom did he speak? So this is Parikshit is inquiring from Sukadeva Goswami. And then the king said, I wish to know narrations concerning the Lord, who possesses wonderful potencies, are certainly auspicious for living beings in all planets. Oh, greatly fortunate Sukadeva Goswami, please continue writing Srimad Bhagavatam so that I can place my mind upon the Super Soul, Lord Krishna, for being completely free from the material quality, thus relinquish this body. So, this is the next shlokas are very important. Shrunvata Shraddhaya Nityam Granantasya Swacheshtitam Kale Nana Atidirgena Bhagavan Vishate Hrdi. If you regularly hear Bhagavatam, it will not take much time for Lord to enter our heart. One interesting is what is important for us. We need to hear the name of Krishna again and again. That is the only purpose we are sitting. It is not that we want to get so much more and more information, more and more things. We want to just hear on Krishna. That is the most important. The name of Krishna is what is more important for us than anything else. More and more times we say it is Krishna who is doing it is Krishna. That itself should be pleasing to the heart, not the information or whatever we get. More and more, okay, now I got more information. No. What pleases is because I'm hearing about Krishna. I love Krishna. Like mothers, they talk about their children. They say, my child like did like this, my child did like this, my child is like. Sometimes I go in a train and there are family and one small child will be there. Everybody is focused on him and they are talking about him only. Array, he's getting up now. Okay, okay, he's going to bathroom now. He's doing the. Everybody is five, six members. Everybody, grandmother, father, uncle, and mother, father. I was thinking they don't get bored only. All day this fellow is only the topic of discussion because they love him. So for them, there is nothing very special that fellow is doing. He's doing all nonsense only. But they are so much interested in because they have. For us also, it's not that something special should happen. No, because it is about Krishna, we are ready to hear. What is discussed? Yeah, he's creating. Very good. He's creating. Oh, he's destroying. Oh, Mahavishnu, everything is coming. Yeah, yeah, very good. It is about Krishna. The main point for us is the discussion is of Krishna. And Krishna is any stealing butter pastime. People hear the same pastime again and again for years together. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is hearing Prahlad Dhruva from Gadadhar Pandit. They are discussing hours and hours same thing hundreds of times. Why? Because it is of Krishna. Because I love him no matter what he is doing. I want to hear about him. It's not about information, it's about the person. I'm interested in whatever he does. I love him, so I want to hear. So when we are sitting for class, it's not just information we are interested. We are also happy because the name of Krishna is coming and it is about the person whom I love. That is the point. Like people, it is true also. Like sometime in young boys when they are in very teens, they fell in love with some girl. Morning they wake up, na, they always think of that girl. Nothing special will be there. He will chat the names of that girl everywhere in his mobile status, in his books. They write the names many, many times. Right on. And the name is so pleasing to them. The person is not there. For us also it should be like that. And that is the example acharyas give. As a young girl attracted to the young boy, the mind flows naturally. Let my mind flow to Krishna naturally like that. Like a young boy's mind to a young girl. That's what the analogy that is given. For them, there is nothing special is happening, but the mind is completely attracted. For us also, oh, it is about Krishna and Radha. So for us also, it should be very, that heart should be very happy because it is about Krishna. And it's not just the information. Not just about the information, but it is about Krishna that is what is touching our heart. Here, same thing. But Shinvatam Shraddhaya Nityam Granantasya Swacheshtitam Na Kalena Na Atidirgena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. The Lord comes into the heart because we that is what is needed for us. Our heart should melt hearing Krishna's name. That's all. We need the name. Pravishta Karnarandrena Swanam Bhava Saroham Dhunoti Shamalam Krishnam Salilasya Tasarat. Srimad Bhagavatam, the sound incarnation of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Soul, enters into the heart of self realized devotee, sits on the lotus flower of his loving relationship, and thus cleanses the dust of material association, such as lust, anger, and hankering. Thus, it acts like autumnal rains upon pools of muddy water. So, this is what is happening. Our lower tendencies, they are just getting cleansed automatically. Now, say if morning we say we'll have some Ayurveda class, we'll have some class on some yoga, astrology, or something, it will not be so pleasing. Of course, the number will increase. We'll get 200-300 joining the Zoom class. But for devotees, it will not satisfy the heart because they are not just interested in information. Oh, nice thing to help, nice thing for this, nice thing for astral. We are interested in Krishna. Anything related to Krishna, we are eager to know about him. It's not information. There is a difference. And this is like autumnal rain cleanses. Yes, Gil Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, I can sense there is some difference between getting information about Krishna and having feelings about him, but still I'm having a little trouble because when a person is interested in getting more and more information about Krishna, that person has, he has interest in Krishna. It's not that he's wanting more and more information about so many other things. He wants more and more information about Krishna. So how is that person so different from the person who, wants to hear about Krishna out of love for him? I mean, again, I know that there's a difference, but I'm not able to like clearly articulate it in my head.
Oh, we like say if there is Ayurveda class, you let an I now it is night for you. Early morning you have some Ayurveda class or some astrology class. You'll not be much
No, no,
interested.
yeah. I'm talking about those. There are those who want information not about Ayurveda or other kind of Veda. They want information about Krishna only,
Yeah,
right?
that's what we need now because I love somebody. I want to know more and more about him. But it is not just the information, but the person for whom I am information. That is what is also like if after some time na, it does not matter what past time. If it is Krishna's Damodar Leela, whole month next month I am ready to hear Damodar Leela because it is about Krishna. So it is information also, but it is also heart. Both are going parallelly. Why you are interested? Because you have some attraction for Krishna, you want to know more about him. But after some time, whatever information, if it is about Krishna, even if I know the information also, I want to hear it again because you like
Mm-hmm.
the person. That's what happens. Not that information you know about it, but still you want to hear it. That
Uh-huh.
is
Okay. So therefore, what I'm hearing is that there are there's you know those who want more and more information about Krishna. It's not that they don't have any feelings for Krishna at all.
like that. No, it's not like
Yeah. So
like
there's like an overlap, but then there are people who they want to hear about Krishna not for the sake of the information part. Is out of their love, whereas other people is both, right?
yeah. For us,
Okay.
that is what should happen slowly, slowly. That
Uh,
when we are listening, when we want to listen because that is what is my heart goes for.
yeah.
Information we
Hmm.
have because that tendency we have, like we have some of our intelligent brain it works and we need some more new things. But it is about Krishna only, so no problem.
Okay. Okay.
So
Thank you.
only if I hear new things, and every time I also like to hear new things, and I like to share also. So that makes that is like I if I tell sometimes we tell the same thing, but sometimes we want to have new things about Krishna. We want to share. So that is not wrong, but it is Krishna.
Hmm. Thank you, Prabhu.
Question is when we take stand that we belong to Him and we are part and parcel, then only all processes will make a meaning of sacrifice, loving, sacrifice, loving, and yeah. When we take, we have this understanding. I belong to Krishna. This ego is so important. This is not so easy to acquire this ego. That's why bhakti is very difficult. When I know for Him, I will do it for Him. And we want to do it for Krishna, but somehow uh, our ego stops. We don't have that identification. Why everything for Him? I should do for Him. So now we'll do further nice sloka. Dautatma Purusha Krishna Padamulam cha munchate Mukta Sarva Parikleshaha Pantasva Sharanam Yata. This is a pure devotee of Lord whose heart has once been cleansed by the process of devotional service, never relinquishes the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, for they fully satisfy him as a traveler is satisfied at home after a troubled journey. This is very important. Bhagavatam, na, it is not by reading Bhagavatam you don't get money. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Krishna is telling you will not get money by reading Bhagavatam. You will not get any material prosperity. You cannot have much material enjoyment by reading Bhagavatam. What do you get Bhagavatam? You get satisfaction of heart. No, savai pumsam paro dharmo eto bhakti radakshya ahaitu ye atma suprasidati. That is only we get. There. This is what is Bhagavatam is giving. You get satisfaction of heart because you are discussing about Krishna and soul needs Krishna. That is what. So once you perform devotional service and he is never relinquishes the lotus feet of Krishna, is fully satisfied. This is actually what is happening. Mukta sarva pariklesha pantasva sharanam yata. As a travel comes home after things, he is completely satisfied. And Prabhupada writes nice point. He says, one who is not a pure devotee of Supreme Lord is not completely cleansed in the heart. But a purified, cleansed person never quits the devotional service of Lord. In discharging such devotional service are ordered by Lord Brahmaji to Narada in preaching of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sometimes a representative of Lord engaged in preaching work meets various so-called difficulties. This was exhibited by Lord Nityananda when he delivered the two fallen souls, Jaga and Mada. And similarly, Lord Jesus Christ who was crucified by the non-believers. But such difficulties are very gladly suffered by the devotees in preaching because in such activities, although apparently very severe, the devotees of Lord feel transcendental pleasure because the Lord is satisfied. Prahlad Maharaj suffered greatly, but still he never forgot the lotus feet of the Lord. This is because the pure devotee of Lord is so purified in his heart that he cannot leave the shelter of Lord Krishna in any circumstances. Very nice point. There is no selfish interest in such service. The process of cultivating knowledge by the jnanis and the bodily gymnastics of the yogis are ultimately given by their respective performers. But a devotee of Lord cannot give up the service of Lord, for he is ordered by his spiritual master. Pure devotee like Narada and Nityanand Prabhu take up the order of spiritual master as the sentence of life, sorry, sustenance of life. They do not mind what because of their future of their life. They take the matter very seriously as the order comes from the higher authority, from the representative of the Lord or from the Lord himself. So this is Prabhupada is living like that. He's writing second canto. Now Prabhupada is in America. And he's living by what he's speaking. The example set herein is very appropriate. A traveler leaves home to search for wealth in far distant place, sometimes in the forest, sometimes in the ocean, sometimes on hilltops. Certainly there are many troubles for the travelers when he's in such unknown places, but all such troubles are at once mitigated as soon as the sense of his family affection is remembered. And soon as he returns home, he forgets all such troubles on the way. A pure devotee of Lord is exactly in a family tie with the Lord, and therefore he is undeterred in discharging his duty in a full affectionate tie with the Lord. So they are always feeling the presence of Lord. One important thing, like people, they have this purification. They get what to say, their liver problem, kidney problems, this problem, that problem. There is impurities in all these things. The reason for impurity in the body is impurity in the heart. If heart is clean, all other impurities also gets clean. That is what we need to understand. The impurities is because of impure heart. Even though people they clean their liver and kidney and all, again it will get contaminated because the heart is impure. So we need to work on improving our purifying our heart. We'll take one more verse. Anyway, many of you have holiday today, so no problem. We can take one. Yet adauto atto brahman de deharambho asya dhatubi idrichya hetuna va bhavato jnanate yata. O Lord Brahmana, the transcendental spirit soul is different from the material body. Does he acquire the body accidentally or by some cause? Will you kindly explain this, for it is known to you? So Maharaj Parikshit, being a typical devotee, is not satisfied by simply confirming the importance of hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam from the representative of Brahmaji in disciplic fiction, but is still more anxious to establish the philosophical basis of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is the science of Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such, all questions that may rise in the mind of a serious student must be cleared by the sentiments of the authority. A person on the path of devotional service may acquire from his spiritual master all the above spiritual positions of God and the living beings. On the Bhagavad Gita as well as Srimad Bhagavatam, it is known that qualitative the Lord and living being are one. The living being in a conditioned state of mental existence is subjected to many transmigration of continuous changing of metal body. But what are the causes of metal embodiment of the part and parcel of the Lord? Maharaj Parikshit inquired about this very important matter for the benefit of all classes of candidates on the path of self-realization and devotional service to the Lord. Indirectly, it is confirmed that the Supreme Being, the Lord, makes no such material changes of the Lord. He is spiritually whole, with no difference between his body and his soul, unlike the conditioned souls. The liberated living beings who associate with the Lord in person are also exactly like the Lord. Only the conditioned souls awaiting liberation are subjected to a change of bodies. How was the process first began? So last, this is a nice point. In the process of devotional service, the first step is to take shelter of the spiritual master and then inquire from the spiritual master all about process. This inquiry is essential for immunity of all kinds of offenses in the path of devotional service. Even if one is fixed in devotional service like Maharaj Parikshit, he cannot still inquire from the he must still inquire from the realized spiritual master all about this. In other words, the spiritual master must also be well versed and learned so that he may be able to answer all these inquiries from the devotees. Thus, one who is not well versed in the authorized scriptures and not able to answer such a relevant question should not pose as a spiritual master for the matter of material gain. It is illegal to become a spiritual master if he is unable to deliver the disciple. Okay, thank you all very much. Tantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Yes, Kilmata, you have something? Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't lower my hand.
Okay. Thank you.